Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good evening. I bid to Tuan Haji Zamidi bin Ismail. I am Syaza Sofea binti Ismail from PPISMP Placer. Today, I will be presenting the task 2 of GPPP 1092, the Introduction of Educational Studies, under the title The Implications of Aspiration and Direction of Education towards the Formation of Teachers with an educational spirit. This is to fulfill the course assignment of GPPP 1092 and learning only. All similarities and information are taken from open sources and there is no intention to touch the sensitivity of any parties. Firstly, we will go through the content of our presentation today. In the beginning, we will get to know what is SKPM. Secondly, what is aspiration? Thirdly, the direction of education. Next one is the implications. And lastly, the teachers with an educational spirit. Okay, so what is actually SKPM? SKPM stands for Standard Quality Pendidikan Malaysia, and in order to achieve global education in the 21st century, the quality of education is a very important aspect so that the world-class students can be developed. There are two main elements of SKPM, which are SKPM 2010 and SKPM G2. So the first one is SKPM 2010. SKPM 2010 was introduced in 2010, a continuation of SKPM in 2003. It is an evaluation instrument that measures the quality of the country's education clearly and comprehensively to achieve student achievement. It is used by the Quality Assurance and Inspection Board, which is known as JNJK, for inspection, and the school uses it for SMEs. JPN and PPD used to implement monitoring and supervision. So the second one is SKPM G2. It is improved in 2017 to become SKPM G2 in order to increase the effectiveness of management and teaching. The SKPM G2 instrument is action-oriented, concerned with the quality of education, and based on evidence. SKPM G2 still maintains the 2010 SKPM standard, which is 5 standards with improvements. So there are 5 standards of SKPM 2010. The first standard is leadership and future direction. It is a school leadership to produce high-impact leaders who are capable of mobilizing school members. It helps to develop school and improve the quality of teaching and learning. So the second standard is organizational management. The functional school organization takes into account the potential and needs of staff, internal resource facilities, and utilizing external resources. It is used to make sure that school can function efficiently and effectively. The third standard is known as curriculum management, extracurricular and sports, as well as student affairs. It helps to manage efficiently and effectively to ensure that the school functions as a learning institution. It helps to produce students who are balanced intellectually, spiritually, and physically. The fourth standard is known as teaching and learning. Teachers plan and implement high quality of teaching and learning processes. It develops the potential and achievement of students at an optimal level. The last standard is students becoming. Education at school produces students who are knowledgeable, skilled, noble, responsible, and capable of achieving student well-being. Moving on to the next topic, which is the implication of educational aspirations. So, what is meant by aspiration? Aspiration means a strong desire to achieve something high or something great. Aspiration, from the aspect of education, is a desire to be achieved by the Ministry of Education towards a big change to the whole education system to increase students' performance. Education aspirations are closely related to the Malaysian Education Development Plan, or known as PPPM. PPPM is known as Pelan Pembangunan Pendidikan Malaysia. It is introduced in 2013 to 2025. It helps to provide the best education for all the students, and it is focused on the development and improvement of the education system continuously. There are three main objectives of PPPM, which are: the first one, to understand the current performance and challenges of the Malaysian education system, focuses on improving success through education, improving quality standards, bridging the achievement gap, promoting unity among students, and maximizing the effectiveness of the system. The second one is to create a clear vision and aspirations for education system and for every student for the next 13 years until 2025. The last one is to outline a comprehensive transformation program for the education system, including major changes in the Malaysian Ministry of Education, which will enable the system to meet new standards and demands in order to increase expectation as well as to support the transformation of the public service. Therefore, there are five aspiration systems of the Malaysian education system, which are access, quality, equity, unity, and efficiency. The first step is the approach towards success. It is 100% enrollment across all levels of education from preschool to upper secondary by the year 2020. So the implication toward teachers are teachers can teach all students equally, and teachers can increase the sense of responsibility to carry out their duties. Teachers can also produce a comprehensive students intellectually, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Secondly is the approach towards the international standard quality. Our country is in the top third of international assessment such as TIMSS and PISA within 15 years. So the implication toward teachers are the teacher will try their best to teach the students so that the students can qualify to take the TIMSS and PISA assessments at an international level. Thirdly is the equity for all the students. There are 50% reduction in the achievement gap, including urban-rural, socio-economic, and gender by the year of 2020. The implication toward teachers are teachers can provide education to all the students, and it can reduce the equity gap between urban and rural students. Here is some attachment of the graphs related to education gap in Malaysia. Next is fostering unity among the students. It is an education system that offers sharing experiences and values to the children by valuing their experiences. So the implication toward teachers are teachers can educate students to respect the religion and ways of the people around them. And teachers can also produce students who have a strong national identity. And the last one is high efficiency implementation. It refers to a system that maximizes student success according to existing provisions. The implication toward teachers are teachers need to ensure the quality of their teaching, and teachers need to ensure that the level of student performance increases from time to time. Alright, moving on to the next subtopic, which is the students' aspirations. Students' aspiration is important to ensure that each student reaches their maximal potential. They need to achieve this aspiration in order to obtain a balanced education. So there are five main aspirations of the students, which are knowledge, thinking skills, leadership skills, bilingual skills, ethic and spiritually, as well as national identity. Starting with knowledge, each student needs to have full literacy and numeracy ability to equip them with basic life skills, as well as function effectively in society. And the students need to master core subjects such as Bahasa Malaysia, English, mathematics, science, and history. The education system also strives to improve the quality of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, which is known as STEM education. Career and academic counseling services are also included in the secondary school timetable to help the student make informed choices about the various educational pathways. And by the year 2016, high-level thinking questions will cover at least 40% of the question in UPSR and at least 50% of the question in SPM. The next aspiration is thinking skills. Every student needs to master a range of important cognitive skills such as creative and innovative thinking, that is the ability to innovate, generate new possibilities, and create new ideas or knowledge is needed if they are to compete globally. Problem-solving and reasoning skills are the ability to predict problems and approach issues critically, logically, inductively, and deductively to find solutions and ultimately make important decisions to meet challenges in a world without borders need to be applied to every student. The next skill is known as leadership skills. Each student needs to reach their full potential through engagement as a leader, as well as working in a group. There are four elements of leadership. The first one is entrepreneurial element, resilient, emotional intelligence, and communication skills. So the next skill is known as bilingual skill. Every child in Malaysia is given the opportunity to master the language of Malaysia as the national language and English as a second language, and also act as international language of communication in an education system that practices bilingual. Students from all ethnic groups are encouraged to learn at least three languages such as Bahasa Malaysia, English, and other languages like Mandarin, Tamil, Arabic, as well as other native languages such as Iban and Kadazan Dusun. The fifth aspiration is ethics and spiritually. Spiritually is to have a strong religious belief and practice it as the basis of life, as well as upholding high moral standards. While integrity is to have the courage, discipline, and patience to do the right thing. Civic responsibility is the act for the good of the country, care for others and the environment, and possesses a deep capacity to contribute to the society. And lastly, national identity. Every student, regardless of their ethnicity, creed, socioeconomic status, or place, must be proud to be a Malaysian. Achieving this goal of patriotism requires a sense of belonging gained by learning to understand the differences and tolerance, accepting and respecting others, as well as to live together in the diversity of Malaysian society. It is very important for the national identity to be nurtured and formed at the basis of life and high spiritual as well as moral values, because it has an calibration measure of wrong and bad things. Lastly, the subtopic of our presentation today is the direction of education towards the formation of teachers with an educational spirit. To achieve the desired aspiration, PPPM has outlined 11 directions. Each shift must impact at least one of the 5 outcomes of the system. So the first direction is to provide equal access to international quality of education. Ensure that every student has mastered Malay and English, are encouraged to learn education, additional languages. Third one is to produce people who appreciate values and transforming teaching profession into a choice of profession. The fourth one is to ensure leadership and good performance are placed in every school and enabling JPN, PPD and schools to provide specific solutions based on the needs. The next one is utilizing ICT to improve the quality of education in our country. The next one is transforming the abilities and delivering capabilities of the ministry, working together with parents, the community, and the private sector broadly. Second last is maximizing student success for every ringgit. Lastly, increase the transparency for public responsibilities. So there are several implications for the education system involving various components that include implications for the curriculum, students, teachers, school leadership, institutions, and also teacher training. The first implication is the implication towards curriculum. There are 3 main components, which are preschool, elementary and secondary school, and special education. For preschool, content is improved according to global trends to meet the challenges of the 21st century. HOTS is applied in curriculum writing, a deep contextual and effective learning approach. Teaching and learning is student-centered and activities that require students to solve the problems. Assessment is carried out systematically and continuously to obtain information about the development of students' level. Students' progress is also recorded and reported to their parents. Second one is elementary and secondary school. The content is improved from KBSR and KBSM to become KSSR and KSSM. Content is improved to ensure that students are equipped with relevant knowledge, skill, and also values to face the challenges of the 21st century. And the question is based on HOTS-based teaching and learning. The assessment is carried out continuously to ensure that the development achievement of student learning. Assessment is done summatively and formatively. The level of student mastery is recorded and reported to their parents as well. And the last one is special education. It has 3 main branches enacted according to KSSM, namely learning problems, vision problem, and hearing problems. Some subjects were modified and improved to ensure that the learning process runs smoothly. So the second implication is the implication towards the student. The first one is learning environment. Students will learn in a very conducive environment and students will have a world-class knowledge and skills, high moral values and are able to get along with their peers. The second one is knowledge and soft skills. Students have academic and non-academic learning. Teaching and learning encourages students to seek for the new knowledge. It is used to improve the students' soft skills. And lastly, the educational opportunities. There are a lot of educational opportunities, which is academic, vocational, and technical streams. It has world-class knowledge and skills, and it successfully prepares students for their future careers. The next one is the implication towards the teachers. The first one is to have vision. Teachers need to have a superior vision to transform various aspects of education. Teachers also should have the trust to ensure that students are able to compete at a global level. Secondly, professionalism. Teachers teachers should do a mind shift and change the work culture. They need to courage to diversify teaching methods and techniques. The last one is they have to act as a role model. They become a role model for the students, and it is used to develop holistic student development, and they also need to strive to produce students who have a strong national identity. Next is the implication towards school leaders. School leaders need to strive to make schools the basis for producing successful members of society and active contributors to national development. The principal or a headmaster acts as a leader, guide, and motivator for teachers, students, and staff in their school. Lastly, principal or a headmaster need to establish a professional collaboration with PPD to obtain input for annual performance targets and will enjoy a greater transparency result. Next is the implication towards teacher training. The first one is the recruitment of trainee teachers. It changed the way of selection by increasing and enforcing the eligibility requirements. The applications are encouraged from a wide range of academic and ethnic backgrounds without compromising the strict entry requirements. Second one is IPG's leadership qualities. It changed the way of selection by increasing and enforcing eligibility requirements. Applications are encouraged from a wide range of academic and ethnic backgrounds without compromising the strict entry requirements. The last one is the quality of IPG lecturers. The selection criteria for lecturers has been improved by prioritizing holders of master's degrees and Doctor of Philosophy. The skill of new lecturers will be constantly improved. And lastly, IPG lecturers are responsible for providing training and in-service guidance for training teachers. So lastly, the last subtopic of our presentation is the teachers with an educational spirit. There are a few fields of professional studies, which are the history of education, education philosophy, educational psychology, sociology or anthropology of education, and comparative international and global education. So, the history of educational development in Malaysia from 1600 to 1900, it is in the form of informal education. The form and development together of the development of Islam in the 14th century. It is an educational institution called the Carthage School. Until before the 20th century, there was still no formal education system and organization. Next, from 1957 to 1970, at that time, Malaysia has become independent on 31st August 1957. Comprehensive secondary education or multi-major education was introduced in 1965. The Higher Education Planning Community was formed to bring the establishment of the Higher Education Council 1968. And from 1970 to 1990, this is the era of the recreation of the education system in our country. Curriculum is structured for schools, teacher education, and higher education so that the existence of education and volunteerism at educational levels. In turn, It can improve the state of democracy and the e-education so that there is equality of participation for ethnicity and geography in our country. So the aspiration is closely related to the national education philosophy, which consists of 11 main philosophy. So this is the national education philosophy. And lastly is the teachers with an educational spirit. The first one is teaching ethics. Ethics means the habit of human behavior that includes character, attitude, feelings, morals, and way of thinking. First one is responsibility to the students. Teachers need to prioritize the students in the classroom and outside of the classroom. The second one is responsibility to the parents. They have to establish a good relationship with parents and always channel student-related information to their parents. The third one is responsibility towards colleagues and teaching profession. Teachers cultivate values in students to become a useful citizen. Secondly, the culture and work ethics of Ministry of Education in Malaysia. The first one is to have the right intention. The second one is discipline and civilized. Third one is faithful, and the last one is sincere. Lastly, the implications towards excellent teachers. It is a cultivator of unity and nation builder to form a human capital that is balanced and harmonious. It is a practice and excellence work culture. And lastly, the implication implement lifelong learning for the education system in our country. I think we've come to our end of presentation, and that is all from me. Thank you. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.